The Rock confronts Roman Reigns. Cody Rhodes makes his decision on who he's facing at WrestleMania. And have we gotten heel Rock at this point? Ladies and gentlemen, we are in the new era of kayfabe in professional wrestling, in WWE. All that and more on Let's Talk Wrestling. Welcome back to Let's Talk Wrestling, the pro wrestling portion of the Let's Talk Gratitude channel. My name is Christian, and boy, oh boy, have we had an active week of pro wrestling as fans. Last night we had the press conference, the big press conference between The Rock, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, and Seth Rollins. Cody Rhodes made his decision. But let's start before that, because this week, or actually starting from Friday, fans have been going absolutely crazy about this Cody Rhodes situation. And I gotta tell you, personally as a fan, it's been so entertaining to watch all the fallout from Cody Rhodes' apparently handing The Rock the main event match at Mania. All the fallout from that's been so entertaining. I think there's a lot to talk about within this situation, because there's so many different sides to this. On one hand, you have half the fans who are perfectly fine with The Rock versus Roman Reigns, perfectly fine with what they're getting. And then you have the other half of fans who have absolutely gone apoplectic and lost their minds at the idea that Cody Rhodes isn't going to get his shot against Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. You had Dave LaGreca on Busted Open wearing a pink bathrobe, absolutely depressed at the thought that The Rock bullied his way into the match. You have Sam Roberts on the Not Sam Wrestling podcast giving some emotional support podcasts to try and comfort fans through this entire process. You had the hashtag We Want Cody trending for multiple days on X. Been absolutely insane. And for me, this has been clarification to me that this is a new era of kayfabe. For this reason, kayfabe works best when it can get you to feel something because you don't know what's real and what's fake. And that's exactly the situation we're in. You know, online wrestling sites, wrestling podcasts on YouTube have all kind of been speculating on what The Rock's deal is, why he's being inserted into this match, why Cody Rhodes isn't being handed the ball just outright. And here's the fun part. No one knows what's actually true or false. That's the fun part, right? I said on Friday, reviewing SmackDown, that I was disappointed that Cody Rhodes seemingly wasn't going to get that match. And I was disappointed. But disappointed in the sense that, like, you know, when the Avengers lose a fight against Thanos, yeah, I'm disappointed that the Avengers lose, right? But if you understand what Marvel is, the Avengers will eventually get the win, right? They lose in Infinity War, but get the win in Endgame. And to me, that seems to be kind of where we're at. I'm disappointed that Cody Rhodes didn't just outright choose Roman Reigns on Friday. But it seemed like there was absolutely more to this story. And I even said that on Friday. There was more to this story that was going to come. And now, on Friday, the next week, we have seemingly more steps to this story. All right, so let's look at the Cody Rhodes timeline up to now. And as we go through this timeline, here's what I want us to do. I want us to look at it from the lens of I want to look at every step of the way from the lens of does WWE, specifically Triple H, know what he's doing? Right? And we need to ask this question in particular to Triple H. Why? Because he's the head guy in charge of creative. He's the one choosing the stories to tell. And he has been ever since he got put in charge in that position. And everybody's loved him for it. Why? Because he fulfills his promise. We trust him. What's trust? The process of a series of promises fulfilled. And every time Triple H starts telling a story, the promise is, I'm going to finish telling that story in its completion. And up to now, he has. So as fans, we have to ask ourselves, well, as fans, you can ask yourself, you don't have to do anything. You can be as angry as you want. But we can ask ourselves, what up to now has Triple H proved? Well, it seems to me he's proved that he actually knows what he's doing and telling us stories. So has he just absolutely lost his mind in going with The Rock instead? Or is he trying to tell some bigger story in a way that's going to entertain and surprise us? Right? The Rock, when he talked about this match a couple years ago with Roman, said he wanted to do something never before done. Up to now, it seems like, we haven't seen anything quite like this in a while. But let's go through the Cody Rhodes timeline, and again ask yourself: does Triple H know what he's doing? Do we believe Triple H knows what he's doing? So we start with Cody Rhodes last year at WrestleMania, at a controversial moment in and of its own right, asking the same question: does Triple H, does WWE know what they're doing? Because Cody Rhodes lost that match against Roman Reigns. And the entire, wrestling fan base was up in arms, angry. They were concerned that WWE just buried Cody Rhodes. All the memes of Cody Rhodes hitting Triple H's throne with a sledgehammer and saying, "Oh, this came back to haunt Cody Rhodes." Right? That's the first controversial moment. The first time we had to question: does WWE know what they're doing with Cody Rhodes? And I think at that time, starting at WrestleMania 39, this is kind of the first hint of what we as fans up to now have been in some way conditioned to expect, and that's the entire story being told at its completion on one night with one match at one time. Right? We all expected, this Cody Rhodes, he's going to finish the story 1 year. He's going to finish the story. Well, he got hurt before Hell in a Cell with Seth. Then he came back, won the Rumble. This is it. The whole story's going to be finished, and that's it. Except, we didn't realize at the time, which was fair, because this was totally new to us, that we're in a new era of storytelling in WWE, and things are going to take a lot longer because, prolonged a delayed gratification is a thing, right? The more you leave it, the more you want it. So, Cody Rhodes loses at WrestleMania. We're all very concerned at what's going to happen next. Night after the Raw after WrestleMania, Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar are going to team up. Brock Lesnar turns on Cody Rhodes, and they have their series of matches throughout the summer. Afterwards, Cody Rhodes goes through some more obstacles leading up to this year's Royal Rumble. Cody Rhodes sets up, he wants to finish the story. He wants to beat Roman Reigns. And to do that, he's going to have to win the Royal Rumble. Although, who's back? CM Punk's back to try and, muddy those waters. And that causes a ton of intrigue within Royal Rumble. Are they going to go with Cody? Are they going to make him take the long route to WrestleMania? Are they going to go with CM Punk instead? Because CM Punk's a bigger star, yada, yada, yada. End of the day, Royal Rumble happens. Cody Rhodes is the back-to-back winner of the Royal Rumble. Wins it again. Stands up on the turnbuckle. Points right at Roman Reigns. Right after pointing at the WrestleMania sign. Saying, "I want you," to Roman Reigns. Ask yourself the question again. Does WWE, does Triple H specifically, know what he's doing? And the entire time, stuff that is not connected to the product, stuff outside the product, is getting leaked, saying, "Oh, well, the Rock might be back, and Rock's part of the board, and there's this whole deal with him. He might take the WrestleMania, blah 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 blah." Okay, but what's the product showing us, right? Well, Cody Rhodes stood on the turnbuckle after winning the Royal Rumble and pointed at Roman Reigns and said, "I want you." Went in a press conference with a bunch of the media and said, "I'm the guy to carry. I'm the guy to be the quarterback. I'm the guy to carry the football. I'm the guy to be the face of this company." That's what Cody Rhodes said. With fans' ears listening. That's what he said. So what happens next? Friday Night SmackDown. The first twist in this entire story. Cody Rhodes confronts Roman Reigns and says, Seth Rollins made some good points about wanting to face, why I should face him at WrestleMania. But that title you're holding, Roman, is the one I want. That title is the one that was taken away from my father. And I want that title. And then he tries to kind of recontextualize what the story is, which is interesting. But, right, he says that taking that title away from you, Roman, isn't finishing the story. It's taking everything from you. And why? The why is important, right? Because if you think about it, okay, well, you're just changing the goalposts, so seemingly The Rock can take your match. Is initially what we think. And it's fair to think that, because that certainly was what it looked like the possibility could be. But why does Cody Rhodes want to take everything from Roman? Because who is Roman Reigns right now? The face of the company. The guy. The quarterback. Right? The head of the table. He's the guy in charge. What did Cody Rhodes say in that press conference at the Royal Rumble? I'm the guy. I can be the quarterback. So why does Cody Rhodes not just want the WWE Championship? It's because Cody Rhodes wants to be the face of the company. Now, what's weird is, well, you want to be the face of the company, then why'd you step aside for The Rock? Questions unanswered. And even yesterday at the press conference, didn't answer any of those questions, really. Cody Rhodes steps aside for The Rock. Says, there's a guy who knows you better. Here's The Rock to face you at WrestleMania. I'll come back for your championship and for everything else later. My best guess. Well, let's continue down the storyline. Let's continue down the timeline, and then I'll give you my best guess of what's going on. All right, now let's look to Thursday. All right, because there's two big events that happened on Thursday. Right, the one that's obvious is the big press conference between all the WrestleMania, or to confirm a bunch of the WrestleMania matches. But before that press conference, there was a Pat McAfee episode where The Rock came on Pat McAfee's show and to talk about essentially everything that's happened up to now. Right? They got into this Cody Rhodes and Rock and Roman Reigns stuff. And we got kind of the first inkling that we might be getting a new Rock. Why? Because The Rock addresses the fans on their sort of split reaction, right? I told you at the beginning of this that after that Friday episode of SmackDown where Cody Rhodes seemingly stepped aside, the fans went apoplectic and lost their minds at The Rock. The we want Cody stuff happened. People were angry with The Rock, angry with WWE. Like, why are you screwing Cody Rhodes again? The Rock goes on Pat McAfee's show, addresses all those fans that are angry with The Rock for stepping into this match, and calls them #Cody Crybabies. It's a great. I love this version of straight up cuts a promo on all the internet fans, that type their hate on comment or hate in the comments, that put out their videos and say how much they hate the product. Does they stuff chicken McNuggets up in their mouths and up their butts, and tells them all to shut up and just enjoy the ride that The Rock's about to take you on. That Rock I can get on board with. That Rock I really, really like. That Rock reminds me of a Rock I never got to see. I only got to witness post-Attitude Era. Right? I came into WWE during the Ruthless Aggression era. I came watching the WWE during the Ruthless Aggression era, so I missed the entire Rock stuff. I had to watch it post-fact. But now if we're going to get this version of The Rock, which is like, heelish, angry, wants the respect of the fans because he feels like he deserves it, the Hollywood Rock, I'm on board with that. And even more than Hollywood Rock now, right? Because he's a board member. Corporate Rock. Come on. Give it to me. So that's what happens first on Thursday is this promo on Pat McAfee's show addressing the Cody Rhodes fans on the internet. Then we get to the actual press conference itself. The Rock comes out with a mic to address Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns before The Rock comes out, says Cody Rhodes had his chance, missed it, hesitated, and so now it's my choice. I choose The Rock. The Rock comes out. Seth Rollins, by the way, says that's not how any of this works, and he's right. That's not how this works. A man won the Royal Rumble. He gets to choose who his opponent is. But The Rock comes out to a mixed reaction from the crowds. There were some Rocky chants. There were a lot of "We Want Cody" chants. And The Rock does his typical, intro shtick. Finally The Rock has come back to Las Vegas. He thanks the crowd for being there. He thanks the media for being there. He introduces the media in attendance to the Cody Crybabies. Interesting, right? Because if you thought the Pat McAfee stuff, that's not canon to any of this story. Well, The Rock just made it canon. He went on a WWE event and just made fun of Cody Rhodes fans. Then The Rock throws up a graphic, a family tree of the Samoan dynasty. The Rock side of the family, Roman Reigns side of the family. Says long ago my ancestors and Roman's ancestors made a blood pact, which meant that the Samoan dynasty, was the one and only true royal family in professional wrestling. It's 2 digs at Cody Rhodes now. Rock says, this is the biggest WrestleMania match, Roman Reigns versus The Rock, of all time. And if you don't believe that, it doesn't matter what you think. That's a straight up heel thing to do, right? It doesn't matter what the fans think. John Cena has something to say about that. CM Punk might have something to say about that. It's only ever what the fans think. But The Rock apparently thinks differently. This brings out Cody Rhodes, who says this entire thing is BS, who comes out and looks pretty perturbed that The Rock has been taking shots at him. Says this is BS. Roman doesn't get to choose who his opponent at WrestleMania is. That's my choice, my decision, because I won the Royal Rumble. Cody Rhodes then says he's made his decision, looks right at Roman Reigns and says, I choose you. So it's now it's official. Cody Rhodes has chosen Roman Reigns for WrestleMania. Cody Rhodes then says, Roman Reigns takes a shot at Cody Rhodes, saying, you're irrelevant just like your father. Cody Rhodes takes a shot back, saying, well, your grandfather and The Rock's grandfather, if they looked at you today, would be ashamed. And this pissed off The Rock, because The Rock comes in from behind Roman Reigns like a bodyguard, like the big brother, big cuz, goes face to face with Cody Rhodes, says if you talk about his family, you're talking about my family, you talk about his blood, you're talking about my blood, you talk about his ancestors, you talk about my ancestors. And if you do that, then we have a problem. And slaps Cody Rhodes right in the face on the stage with everybody looking. And they get broken up by Triple H, Nick Aldis, Adam Pearce, break them all up. Then backstage afterwards, Triple H is being interviewed, being asked about what's happened. The Rock, Roman Reigns, and Paul Heyman come walking in from behind Triple H. The Rock says, you better fix this, because this is BS. Let him talk about my family again. I'll smack the teeth out of his mouth. Triple H says, you were out of line and you know it. The Rock disagrees, says, no, that's what happens when you talk about my family. And what's interesting about this moment of The Rock, Roman Reigns, and Paul Heyman walking backstage, The Rock's walking in front, Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman are following behind him. A little detail. But again, we've said this is a new era of storytelling for WWE. We've known this for over a year now. We've been asking the question to ourselves this entire timeline. Does Triple H know what he's doing? Are these guys talented storytellers or not? We're going to ask that question. And there has to be an answer. Or we can't ask that question. But, there should be an answer. And the answer so far has been yes, these guys know what they're doing. There's a track record up to now of consistent promises fulfilled. And so now, what, Triple H is going to go toss all that credibility right out the window? Somehow The Rock doesn't know how business works in the WWE? Doesn't know how to build a good story? Like, are these things we actually believe? Or are we just emoting? And emoting's fine. That's what makes pro wrestling so great. Be emotional. Be angry. Be upset. Be Dave LaGreca in a pink bathrobe on the internet yelling at The Rock because he's a bully. Do it. Because that's what makes pro wrestling fun. Is when you don't know what's happening, but you're just being made to feel stuff. That's the fun of it. I love where we're going right now because I have no idea what's coming next. There's twists and turns that if you really look at it, actually makes sense. Why did Cody Rhodes seemingly change his mind between Friday of last week and yesterday on Thursday? It seems pretty straightforward to me, right? If the idea is Cody Rhodes had a conversation with The Rock and The Rock convinced him to let The Rock have the match with Roman Reigns this year, then you'll get your shot later down the road. And Cody Rhodes was like, okay, fine, that makes sense. You dismantle the bloodline now, and I'll come to pick up the pieces and take the championship later. Makes sense on its face, kind of. But Thursday, what happens? The Rock takes some shots at Cody Rhodes and his fans. Right? Calls Cody Rhodes fans Cody crybabies. Cody Rhodes in his press conference at the Royal Rumble said it's tough to be a Cody Rhodes fan. Which tells you one thing, Cody Rhodes loves his fans. How do you think a guy who loves his fans would take you making fun of his fans? Probably not that well. He probably wouldn't take it lightly. What happened next? Well, The Rock then said there's truly only one royal family in professional wrestling. What's Cody Rhodes' theme song start with? There's more than one royal family in professional wrestling. Another barb at Cody Rhodes. What happens next? The Rock then essentially says, this is the biggest, Rock versus Roman is the biggest match that could possibly happen at WrestleMania. And if you don't believe that, it doesn't matter what you think. Attacks the fans at large. Saying if you're not on board with this, doesn't matter. Cody Rhodes was given 3 reasons why he doesn't have to take The Rock's advice. Because that's the other thing. Cody Rhodes still didn't make a choice. On Monday, when Seth Rollins wanted him to make a choice, Drew McIntyre interrupted. Cody Rhodes didn't get to say a word during that segment on Raw. Cody Rhodes never made a choice, so he still had that card to play. That's why Cody Rhodes came out and made the choice he did, because he was able to, and because The Rock made him. You can't insult me and my fans and act like I'm just going to stand there and take it. Well, then I look like a goof. So I love where we're at right now, and I have no idea where we're going to head next. Seth Rollins got involved in the whole hubbub after the slap, was yelling and cursing at The Rock, saying you can't do whatever you want just because you're on the board. I have no idea what's going to happen next, right? People have been speculating, oh, maybe this is a tag team match between Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes versus The Rock and Roman Reigns. People have said potentially at Perth. Here's the problem. Seth Rollins is still injured. That's still a thing, right? He hasn't wrestled a match since the injury. I doubt he's going to wrestle a match at the Elimination Chamber. But this is the fun part of all of this. Now there's now set story, and you can say, oh well, they had to pivot last minute because the fans hated it. And sure, maybe they have, but I don't know why that would be like some sort of criticism. You get a pivot foot in basketball, use it. The whole point of professional wrestling is read the fans, read the crowd reaction, and go with the flow. So if they pivoted, hey, good job. That's what we want. Pivot to what entertains us. So there's that. Maybe they had to pivot last minute. Or, because again, Cody Rhodes did win the Royal Rumble. And again, we're asking the question, does Triple H know what he's doing? Why did Cody win the Rumble? Could it potentially have all been planned? Now, I know that we have to give WWE a lot of credit for that kind of thing. And nobody ever wants to give WWE credit anymore. Except here's the thing, I don't know. Seems awfully planned to me. The Rock went on Pat McAfee's show and said, and Pat asked him, did you expect the crowd reaction that you got? And The Rock said, absolutely. We fully expected that to happen. This is the fun part of new kayfabe. Is he telling the truth? Is he just playing off of what happened on Friday? Right? So that the internet fans can feel, validated and smarter, I don't know. No idea. This is new kayfabe. We don't know. I love new kayfabe. I love that there's things we don't know. I love that there's a ride that isn't going to be predictable. That isn't going to be, that I won't know when the turns are going to come. But here's what's going to be annoying is if Cody Rhodes wins at Mania against either Roman Reigns by himself or if there's more people added to that match, people are still going to say it was predictable because Cody was supposed to win. We knew Cody was good. I'm going to choose for myself to just enjoy the ride as we get it. Because it's a fun ride that we're being given. It's a fun story we're being given. It's a new story we're being given. There have been similarities made to Daniel Bryan and Batista and Randy Orton way back when, that The Rock is the new Batista. And I'm on board with that because guess what? It worked for Daniel Bryan. And so far, it's working like gangbusters for Cody Rhodes. People love Cody Rhodes. People want Cody Rhodes more than they did last year. People want Cody Rhodes more now than they did 2 weeks ago when he won the Royal Rumble. So I love where we're at. I think we're in a good place. And I'm looking forward to the ride. We still have a SmackDown tonight. That's crazy. We still have a whole other show. And I don't know if Roman's going to be on it or not. But I imagine Cody Rhodes might be on it. And he might have some words for Mr. Dwayne. So I'm excited. I hope you're excited. This is the best time of the year for wrestling fans. And I hope all of us enjoy the ride in one way or another. Whether you're upset, whether you're happy, just enjoy it. Emote away. That's professional wrestling. This is the Let's Talk Wrestling podcast. I hope that you will support this channel by leaving a like, hit the subscribe button, help this channel grow. Leave a comment on how you feel about the story up to now. Did you expect this all to happen? Were you surprised by it all? Leave it in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.